Hello everybody, Claudia Boleyn here, and this is a really difficult video for me to make, but I don't think I can call myself a mental health vlogger or blogger if I'm not honest with you about my own mental health. Part of the reason I decided to talk about my mental health online, be that in vlogs or in blog entries on my Tumblr blog, is because I think there's a lot of negativity attached to people who are mentally ill, and I think it's good for people to see others like them online and the fact that we are out there. But I'm afraid I've had a bit of a blip in my recovery. This video, it's really difficult for me to talk about, so I'm really sorry if there are like lots of cuts and stuff, because I'm obviously quite upset, so this is really difficult for me to talk about. And also I just want to say right now at the start, if you're like a troll or something, then just don't bother on this video, please. Like I said, I've made this so other people can see it, so people who are also mentally ill who watch my channel can see that they're not alone, and also maybe they can learn from my mistakes. So although it's kind of a sad video, I hope it's a positive video as well. So please don't bother with that. Yeah, just okay. So basically, today is the, I don't know what the date is today, I think it's the 17th, it's Friday. And yesterday I spent most of my day in A&E at hospital. I took an overdose, and so yeah, I ended up in A&E for most of the day, which is really bad. My last overdose was years ago now. I haven't felt low enough to act on those thoughts in a long time, but I think a lot of things in my personal life just sort of happened at the wrong time, really, and I got especially low, and I just impulsively took a load of tablets, and it was just really awful, and I regret doing it now. It's only one day after and I regret doing it. I mean, I actually took them at night. I think I took them late Wednesday night / Thursday morning. It was like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock on the very early Thursday morning, and the first thing that happened was I woke up on Thursday morning when my mum was going off to work. So I woke up and I felt really sick, so it was like horrendous. I felt dizzy. I just couldn't concentrate on anything. I just felt so awful. I sort of stumbled towards the bathroom and I immediately started being sick. It must have, probably all the tablets I'd taken, my body just rejected it, and I just started being sick, and it was uncontrollable, and it was, I'll put an emetophobia warning on this video, don't worry, you won't have to see this if you're emetophobic, but it was just awful, and it got to the stage where there was nothing left in my stomach and I was still going, and I just wanted it to end. It was just awful. Obviously by that time my mum had realised there was something very wrong with me, because I was just shaking and being sick, and so she kind of put two and two together and said, "Claudia, have you taken something?" And I had to admit that I had. To be honest, I couldn't even cover it up. I was just shaking and I just didn't know what I was doing anymore. It was awful. So I was sick some more, and then my mum drove me up to the hospital, which was a horrible experience, because I felt really bad about my mum having to deal with it, but at the same time I also felt bad that my attempt had failed. I feel differently about that right now, but that's what I felt yesterday morning, and I felt incredibly sick, and I just wanted for it to be over. I just wanted this feeling to stop. My grandma came with us to the hospital as well to give my mum some support, and I was just so tired. I think after I'd stopped being sick, I just kept falling asleep and almost falling over. I was just so tired, because a side effect of the tablets I took is drowsiness, so I just kept sort of falling over, and when we were in the waiting room at the hospital I kept almost falling asleep, and at one point it got so hot and stuffy in there and I just felt really ill, and my grandma took me out, and I went and sat on the floor outside the hospital, and I was just sitting there with my head on my knees, and I think I fell asleep, I'm not sure, but my memories of being at the hospital are really blurry. Obviously they did all the usual stuff, like had blood, ECG, all that kind of thing, and it was really unpleasant. So that was what happened yesterday. After they had given me the all clear, I'd seen like the psych team and had all my tests done and everything was cleared, and they knew that I didn't have anything left in me that was going to harm me and that my liver hadn't been damaged. They let me go home, and then for that whole life I just slept basically. I tried to eat something, I felt really ill, and I just went to sleep. I was so tired. That night I went to, my mum and I were invited to have dinner with my grandma. Just, I didn't have to eat anything, but just kind of so I could see my granddad and my brother, and you know, because it's quite a disturbing, it happened when my brother was at school, and obviously it's quite a disturbing thing to happen, and I think it's important that he saw me to see that I was okay and that I hadn't damaged myself too badly. So that I had dinner at my grandma and granddad's last night, and I managed to eat, which was good, but I was just so tired. I kept almost falling asleep at the table. Today I'm shaking really badly, like my legs are shaking, my arms are shaking. I haven't been sick at all today, but I feel very sick, and I wouldn't be surprised if I am again. So yeah, that's basically what happened yesterday, and I'm surprised I haven't cried talking about it, but I've cried a lot over the past day or so, so maybe I'm just out of tears. But I have to tell you this because I have to be honest with you. If I'm going to talk about my mental health, I can't just talk about the good things, like, yay, my recovery's going great. It was going quite well, and I think this is a blip. I just got incredibly low, and it would be false if I didn't tell you about that, considering I talk about other mental health stuff. I think it would be like I was giving you some sort of false picture of what goes on with me, because I know a lot of the time I kind of put like a sort of funny spin on stuff, and I don't let you see me when I'm at my lowest. I mean, for example, well, when you're at your lowest, you're not ready to face the world anyway. I mean, I guess I could have recorded yesterday at A&E, but at the time I was suicidal and crying and tired and shaking and vomiting yesterday, so obviously you don't film when you're in your worst state. I think a lot of people think that those of us that talk about our mental illnesses online are kind of faking it, which is frustrating, because obviously people, this is part of why I made the video, is so you can kind of see me at a low point, but also because you're not going to see us at our very lowest, simply because when you are suicidal, when you're feeling so bad, it's very unusual to get a camera out and actually be able to talk to people. I mean, you couldn't talk to a camera, you couldn't talk to anyone around you. Well, that's how it is for me and a lot of other people anyway. So, yes, I did try to kill myself yesterday, or Wednesday night, between Wednesday night and yesterday. But I'm okay now. The doctor said that I haven't done any major damage to my insides or anything, which is a relief, I suppose. I guess I didn't really think of that when I was taking the tablets. But I mean, I'll be honest, when I took them, I wanted out, really. So, I wasn't thinking about that kind of thing. But I wish that I had been able to stop myself from doing that. I wish that I'd been able to use my coping mechanisms better. As I say, I think that I have been doing well in my recovery, and there's been a lot of stuff in my personal life recently, family stuff, things like that, which is just kind of piled up, and I think like the final thing just happened and I just completely went, as can happen with me. So yeah, I feel like I'm in two minds as to whether to even post this video, because obviously you get trolls online and you get people saying horrible things, and that's, well, it's not okay, but I mean, you know it's going to happen if you have a YouTube channel. But this is a very delicate situation, and I guess I just can't go on acting like I'm fine if I want to continue vlogging and blogging about mental health, because I have to. My whole point of it is that I'm mentally ill and not ashamed of it. That's what it says on my blog, and the whole point of it is that I want you to see that if you are the same as me, maybe if you've been suicidal or something, if you're depressed or anxious or something, then you're not on your own and other people do have it. So hiding that wouldn't help. The whole aim of this is to kind of put the mental illness stuff out there so people get used to it, so that maybe we can get rid of some of the stigma against it. And if that means trolls and horribleness, then so be it, to be honest. I don't care anymore. I just do not care. This last couple of days have been absolute hell for me, so the trolls are the least of my worries right now. But I'm absolutely begging you, as someone who's just taken a load of pills and it was very unpleasant, if you feel that bad and you feel like you're in danger of taking a lot of pills or something, please, please, please ring someone up or go to somebody in your family, or just get the pills away from you. Because when I did it, it was an impulse, and I think maybe if I hadn't been able to get to them, maybe I could have held it off a bit. I'm just, please, please think before doing anything like that, because I regret it now. I certainly regretted it when I was being sick over and over and I was shaking and I had a fever. It was really, really unpleasant. So yeah, just think about that. And I don't feel ashamed of myself for doing it, because I have to come to terms with the fact, I spoke about this with the psych people, you know, I will get very low sometimes and I will do things which are silly, but I don't do them with malicious intent, and I would never harm another person. It's just, I guess I lash out at myself. I do feel bad about the stress that my family is under because of this. Like, that is a really big regret for me. But I think you'll know if you suffer from similar stuff to me, that sometimes you just get so low and it's not selfishness. Or maybe it is and you just can't help it, but you just feel so bad and you just think, I need to get out of here, I need to escape, and sometimes that feels like the only way. It feels like death is the only way. That's how bad it gets sometimes. And it's really horrible. So, I mean, as I say, I'm still kind of suffering from what I did today. I'm shaking all over. I can't, when I'm standing up, I feel like I'm going to fall over, and like, I was eating some soup earlier because I didn't want to have any solid food or anything because I feel really ill. My hands were shaking. It's awful. Okay, so that's basically what happened yesterday. So I hope that you're not too worried by this video, because you know, they checked me out at the hospital and everything, done all the tests. I was there for a long time, but they've said that I'm okay and I haven't done myself any real damage, nothing that's permanent anyway. And I'm going to work really hard to try and sort myself out and to try and get myself into a better place, and I hope I can. I think just personal stuff just built up and I just snapped, basically, as I can do and have done in the past. I just went. But yeah, I don't want you to think I'm doing this for attention. So that's not why I'm doing it. But in a way, I am doing it for visibility, I suppose, because I don't know, I know when I took my first overdose when I was younger, I felt very alone, and it's difficult to talk about because people don't want to talk about it. Obviously your family don't, because it's upsetting, but it can become this taboo and that just makes it worse. So I'm sure I'm not the only one here that's tried to take their own life before. I know I'm among friends, so that's good, and hopefully we'll get through it together and you'll be alright. If you're watching this and maybe you've considered an overdose or you took one and it didn't work out like me, then well done for still being here. I'm really proud of you. I really am proud of you. And if you did something silly like me and you ended up going to hospital and it didn't work and you came back, then I am very proud of you as well. Just for the fact that you're here, I am proud of you. And like I say, I wish I hadn't done it, but I will get better. I'll work really hard on getting better. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I know it's not my usual kind of thing. I'm not sure if this will be closed caption straight away, just because it takes me a while to close caption and I want to get this out quite soon so people know what's going on, because I wrote an entry on my blog which was me basically getting a bit worried on the night when I took my overdose, and I know some people will have read that, and I just want to get this out there so they know I'm alright. But I will close caption it, I promise. Even if it's not immediate, I'll do it as soon as I can. My fingers are shaking and everything. It's just not a good thing for me. So I'm really sorry to those that are deaf or hard of hearing, but I promise I will close caption it. I will get that done, but maybe not just straight away. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and I really, really do love you loads. And in fact, the thought of people being there for me now, I know that I'll get a lot of love, and that there are people that care about me out there, even if I don't if I don't know them personally. It really does mean a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go because I'm getting pretty upset, but anyway, thank you so much for watching this, and I love you loads, and don't take an overdose because it's not nice. Don't do it. You don't need to do it. There's always a solution. There's a way to get through it, and we'll get through it together. Okay, I love you loads. I'm gonna start crying. Bye.